I'm going to just be myself today. I don't have any slides. I don't have any. Get rid of the book. Get rid of everything. Just me and you. Let's be together for today. This is going to be the first of a series of talks on the 5 principles of unity. We're all getting back to basics. We're getting back to the fundamental principles. We're getting back to the idea of a prosperous universe, that we live in abundance, and that the only way to really be happy is to share that abundance with others. And we're learning what that abundance really is, that it's basically divine substance, it's spiritual substance. So we're going to start today with the first basic principle of unity. It's not even going to be up there. It's going to be here in your heart and your mind. Mind, heart? Something like that. Where's Rose? Rose Dunn. Are you here? She's going to bring the guy from Heart Math, right? Or woman from Heart Math, which teaches you your mind's really in your heart. Your heart's telling you what's going on. Isn't that amazing? So everything has to go back to principle. Everything has to go back to a fundamental belief or principle that I live by. And the first one in unity is God is absolute good. God is not a being in the sky judging and determining what happens based on circumstances. God is principle. God is an unchanging, immutable law of the universe. My New England accent is coming back. Look out. All my vocal training in the theater is starting to leave my consciousness. I'm almost to the point of saying "I dear." When that happens, I'll be officially back. God, what is that? What is that? What is that? God, what is that? Any ideas? I say God is love. Anybody else? God is energy. Who said that? Thank you. Energy, love, spirit. All that is. Everything. I love it. Now our idea of God's getting bigger and bigger. Everything. Everything. All encompassing. Anything else? Within. Thank you. God is within. God is within. Permeates all. Substance. God mind. God being. God self. God within. No man has ever seen God at any time, and yet God is in everything I see. As He is, so are we in this world. That's from 1 John chapter 4. As He is, or she is, it is, so are we in this world. And we can for a long time forget that and come from a limited consciousness. For a long time, we can walk around the earth pretending that we are small till we run into Nancy and she reminds you how magnificent you are. Or we run into someone else and remind you how magnificent you are. We run into someone else and remind you how magnificent you are. How beautiful you are. How perfect you are because you're created in the perfection of God mind. God is absolute good. Unity principle. Everywhere present. There's one power and one presence active in the universe. And the part we forget sometimes in my life, God is active in the cell phone. Doesn't matter. He's calling. That's God calling me. I experience that because I get distracted by the things of the world, and I think it's so important that I do this little, whatever it is I'm doing. It's the most important thing in the universe. And then I remember, wait, the important thing in the universe is to see God, and to more than see, I think experience God presence in this moment, in this activity, whatever it may be. I need to allow my mind, my consciousness, to let it be God, to let it be perfect, whole, and the most important moment of my life. Because if this moment is not the most important, what is it going to be? I'm going to be afraid. I'm either going to be afraid, worried about the future, or I'm going to be grieving about the past. I won't be here with you now. Something else will be going on in my mind, and I'll miss this moment. And the whole training of spiritual living is to be in this moment and let it be full. Let our experience of God, no matter what the concepts are, let it be everything. Let it be all in all. And let it most of all be me. Most of all, let it be you. Let it be what your life is about. And I'm reminded each moment that I have a purpose for being here with you. This beautiful being is blessing me with so much healing energy in this moment. I have to come over here and just be with you for a moment. Pay attention to those things. That's why I don't know the chords sometimes on the guitar. I don't know what time of day it is. I don't know how much money I have in the bank or if I have any at all. I don't know which way to go on the road sometimes, left or right. I'll hear a voice say, take a left. And, oh, okay. There's something guiding me all the time. And you can trust that. We don't always have to be so focused on the ABC of how to do things here, because something greater is guiding me. And if I let that flow, wow, I'm like riding a wave. I didn't even know how to surf that wave, but all of a sudden I'm riding a wave of guidance from Spirit. And everything now is turning up perfect. Everything now is turning up in harmony. And the healing that needs to take place does take place. Everything I needed to occur happens. Why? Because there's one power active in that situation. There's one power active in the universe. And I need to remember, active in my life. And as I give myself over to that power, everything I need to help me and support me in my purpose here, it's given to me. It's given to me in greater abundance because that's what I'm ready to receive. I've made myself ready to receive. It's the next step. It's the next step for a lot of us. And we're ready. We're opening ourselves for that next step. I'm ready to receive greater abundance in my life, greater awareness and experience that God is active in all things, in all people, in all places, at all times. I am the change agent. If I think the world needs to change, then I am the change agent. I am the ingredient that needs to change. It's like what we used to mix in science class, baking soda and vinegar. And the vinegar went in there and little rockets and stuff. But nothing happens if they're separate. You leave the baking soda over there and the vinegar, they don't come together. There's no explosion. There's nothing occurring there. Don't be afraid of the combination of energies that occurs, like in group situations like this. There's a combination of energies because we're coming from vastly different places all the time. And yet, we all have an experience that's common. That experience of ourselves as divine. That experience of myself as a divine creation of a one power, one presence. Where did that idea come from? One power. We used to have a lot of different gods. The god of the iPad was angry with Jack earlier. Right? The iPad god is not favoring you. You must have stayed up too late. Last night. Whatever. And then we develop these ideas that things are happening to us, or that Spirit somehow is responding to our actions. And it's not true. Because Spirit doesn't respond, Spirit gives. and gives and gives and gives and gives and extends and extends. And that's all it does. It doesn't have a capacity for distinction, for judgment. We think we do. And so we think our judgments are going to be what saves us. But what Lily read is, I didn't know my way to freedom. Freedom from those judgments is simply learning a new way to be and experience myself. Ellen Debenport, who's going to be speaking up at Unity in the City, she wrote a nice book that we use for our membership class. Remember this, the 5 principles? And she says, we really need to have a grown-up idea of God. Because the idea we had of this parental figure kind of punishing and rewarding us is still prevalent. And it's a kind of an archaic view of spirit, if you ask me. And I'd be happy to tell you that, no matter what your religious background is. It's time to wake up. This archaic view of a being that's watching you in the sky and determining whether you're going to be blessed or you go to hell, it's not going to help me very much. But if I have a power and energy, who said energy? I like that. Kathy, energy. This energy of love, this vibration that's always present with me. I can access that at any time. If I step back from it and I'm unaware, the energy doesn't punish me. If I get distracted, the energy doesn't punish me. The energy's still there, waiting for me to be receptive to it. It's a universal energy also. And every positive thought I have is increasing the vibration of that energy or the awareness of it throughout the planet and the universe. So I just want to read one little thing from the first principle. That humans have always sensed and have always deeply understood that there is an invisible foundation to the universe, a cohesiveness to all that we see and all that we are. Isn't that beautiful? That this invisible foundation of energy in the universe is cohesive. That it brings harmony, that it heals. It's very important for me to first get this first principle in my mind, because now I can know that God is good, absolute good. What is evil? Doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist? It's an invention of how I'm looking at things based on how I feel, what I think I want, what I think I need. How many times have you thought something bad has happened to you, and you realize later on that was the best thing that ever happened? I would never be where I am if I didn't have that divorce. I would never be where I am right now if I had, I have a friend who used to have a lot of money. He was like very wealthy. And he said to me, I would never be where I am if I had all that money. And he said, I learned to stop calling it my money, because it wasn't mine to begin with. It was given me because I performed a service for people, and I received all of this as a gift from the universe. So I take it as a gift, and I happened to give the gift away during the recession. I gave it to a bunch of bankers, but who am I to say where that gift should go, he said. So he's so happy. He's so happy writing, teaching the Course in Miracles, traveling, or just being. Not really focused on doing anymore. Focused on being. The holy extension of a loving and all-pervasive goodness, which is what God is. Many times, our greatest learning are in those times where we think something has gone wrong. The reason that we create evil ourselves is because we're responding to it. We're trying to fight back. We're attacking back. We're attacking the universe. What did Jesus say? He said, resist not evil, love your enemy. If someone attacks you, don't resist it. Turn the other cheek. That's what we used to do in high school, give them both cheeks. Out the window of the bus. The opposing team going, especially if you lost the game. So have some fun with it, guys. This is your universe. This is your world. This is your mind, using the mind of God to create whatever you want here. It's absolutely all up to you. This is your life. And there's one presence and one power active in your life and in the universe. And it will heal everything perfectly and bring you into places that you never imagined. And it's going to do so if you are willing and receptive to it. And that's why we study these principles. We do more than study these principles. We try to live them. The second principle is going to tell us that God is within every individual, no matter what it looks like, no matter what he or she seems to be doing in the world. That spark of divinity is in them. And it's up to you to connect with that, to nurture that, to bring that out. That's why a lot of us are involved in the healing arts or the performing arts. That's a connection with people, trying to join with them in a joyful experience, to bring out that which is in them that really enjoys life, that really loves to be here and with people and shining and sharing their light. And everything that you do, no matter what your career or profession or you've chosen for yourself, for your path in this life, can be used for that purpose. And it will be used, because fulfilling your purpose here is going to be your only joy. Now, I have a brother, and he's been visiting from New York City. Him and his partner have a travel magazine called Passport. And my brother created this life for himself out of absolutely pure mind substance. He just said, what do I want to do in life? Well, I'd like to travel. I'd like to do this. I'd like to do that. And he found someone else, his partner, who absolutely wanted all those things also. So they started a long time ago this beautiful magazine. It's a gay travel magazine. And it's wonderful because he imagined it all before it happened. He just imagined it in his mind and allowed it to happen and then got to work. So don't forget that part. I did it kind of backwards. I started working really, really hard on things, mostly fixing other people's homes. And I found a lot of joy connecting with people. But it was like one person a month. You know, I'd be in one home working there. So I wouldn't get to talk to a lot of people. I wouldn't get to share. And finally I said, no, I don't like this. I want a lot of people around me doing the same thing on a spiritual path. So I created this environment. I ended up with 150 Course in Miracles people all around me every day. And we traveled all over the world teaching A Course in Miracles. And the same happened when I married my incredibly wonderful wife, Lily. And this is the miracle for me. I had given up. I said, okay, no more relationships. They're not working out. I'm going at it the wrong way. Looking for a relationship, that was the wrong thing to do. Having a great relationship with myself, that's what I wanted to do. And as I began this wonderful affair with myself, I began to feel a presence with me. What would it feel like to have a relationship with someone else? Like, what's the perfect relationship? It's okay, there's nobody here. I don't have to deal with personalities. It's just going on in my mind. This has to do with the second principle because the spark of divinity is within you and you're creating your own reality, which is the third principle. And I won't get to that until the end of the month. But within this second principle, that everyone is inherently good, I stopped losing my fear of relationship. I stopped losing my fear of being with other people in a real way, being myself. In that moment, I started to imagine what it would be like, what my perfect partner would be like. And pretty soon I met Lily down in Colombia. And when we got to talking, she said, I was doing the same thing. I had imagined you for a long time. And we met each other a long, long time ago. Where? In that realm of infinite possibilities. So whatever it is you want and whatever it is you need exists there in that realm of infinite possibilities. Just be ready to receive it and it will be yours because there really is only one power, one presence active in the universe and in your life. And we're going to put it to work here, aren't we? Yes. I love you guys so much. Get ready for the adventure because it's happening. I love you. Thank you.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.